Incremental greetings. Let's continue with the key bindings, shortcuts in Supermemo. And today I want to share about editing and writing specifically. So let's say that I came across this 10 complexity, but I only want that. So I copy, then I do Control N, and I use this import option. Then, oh yeah, it looks slightly weird, right? It's not the same experience. It has a lot of styling applied. F6, which is the filter. In this case, the text that this is taken from Wikipedia already. So I can apply it. As easy as that. Still looks different if I used the web importer. If I go to any other place, like here, and I press F6, I will have to choose if I want to delete fonts, the styles, and so on. But for Wikipedia pages, you get this perk, at least in Supermemo 19. Nice. Now let's say that, you know what, let me check this. What is the content factor? Shift click, and you can open it. Keep in mind the text component needs to be unselected. HTML component in reality. So if I check this, now it's been active. You can know that because of the hot light now it's blue. Now I press the link, it won't work. Because now I am in the editing mode. Nice. Then let's say that I want to get rid of the styling. I will force this for the example. I will do a highlight, which by the way, there's no key binding for it. You have to navigate the menu. Oh, looks weird and so on. I want to get rid of the styling. But if I do the F6, now I will get rid of everything if I put the styles. So perhaps this is a lot longer, the topic. And I only want to affect the selection or some part. I can do this. I do a selection and I do Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1. And here you go. I only affected the selection. That I don't care, and I want to get rid of everything. F6, fonts, and in this case, styling. Nice. I can go extra mile, and you know what? As this is especially true if there is a lot of inline thing or spacing, columns that looks very weird. You know what? As a last resort, I will just make it plain text. So you press Ctrl Shift F12. Convert formatted text to plain text. And here you go. Among other things, you get rid of the images. Everything that is HTML will be gone. So keep that in mind. This should be only used if you want to lose it, you don't mind, or you already don't require that. So it's just text. Nice. Now remember, we can delete after cursor. Alt, Ctrl Dash, this, which for me it's not. It's not this key. Because I have a different keyboard layout. Now this looks a lot more plain text. Is this plain text or is HTML? Let me have the chance to show you what you can do. In file, you have view file, edit file, and view source. So let's start with view file with F9. In this case, it's still an HTML file. Okay. F9 opens in the default browser. Then I can do Control F9, and it's the same thing. In this case, yes, because if I go here, it's edit file. That depends on your default app in Windows for this. And on top of that, we have this, view source, Ctrl Shift F6. And in this case goes to Notepad because it's my default. This is useful if you want, before you want to split a topic, you don't know what it's using, then you quickly check and, oh yeah, it's this tag, let's pretend it's this one. Oh yeah, the VR. Then you'll do Supermemo Commander, SP, and then you decide custom string, and it will be BR, stuff like this. Then I can, Supermemo has the built-in, the basic standards. That means that I can make any selection, like computer science, make it bold with Control B, commonly estimated by counting number of 3 options. I can press Control U, and that's the underline. And I can also make italics with Control I. And one of the basics HTML is in Supermemo is the bullet point. You can add a bullet point with Ctrl-Shift-L. I'll make my own notes, whatever you may want to use. But what happened here, in this example I use Wikipedia with the clipboard. That means I don't have the sources. Absolutely none. What I can do, this is useful when you import a book, something that especially is not from the internet. So you just make the selection, and then with Alt-Q, you have a choice. You can access to all of the sources: title, date, author, source, email, link, and comment. Not comment from the element, by the way, comment from the source. Alt-Q. But there's a shortcut with Alt-T, because usually the title is more commonly used. So instead of choosing, you just go straight with Alt-T for title. Let me go to a real example. It will be more illustrative. Something like that. Hey, I have the author here, Teresa Torres. Alt-Q and author. Hey, I have the date, and I select the date. Oh, that's the title. I select the title, Alt-T in this case. Or I can also go Alt-Q and select the first one. Any other thing. That's especially useful, because then now if I scroll down, you will see that I have the author now. This is being added. And as an example, you get this styling, which by the way is not the default, it's bigger, so it's easier to see. That I don't want this, I can just remove it, but let's pretend I want to keep it. I select the text, Ctrl-Shift-1. And here you go, it's plain text, without affecting the rest. And the opposite is true. So if I have plain text, I can make HTML. Let's pretend, for the example, that I'm doing incremental writing. So I'm adding my own input here. So I want to apply done in this element. So what I could do is, to make the text, let's do the title, header 1, and closing the tag. So if I make a text selection that includes the tag, and I do the same function, Ctrl-Shift-1, it works the other way around. So it's like a toggle. Supermemo will investigate. Hey, are there HTML tags? Yes, in plain text. It's the syntax of HTML applied. The other way around. Oh, make it plain text. Remove them. So that's how you can do headers. It looks like this because I'm using my own styling. If I remove this, this is how it will look for you. Then let's see that you're reading, or perhaps when you're writing, you want shortly, you want to increase the size, but you don't want to affect the template as I just shown to you. Control plus or Control minus. And if I go back, so if I put it very big and I move on and go back, it is lost. So it's temporary. So it doesn't matter. As soon as I go to some other place and I go back, the zoom is lost. It's actually a good thing because it's just temporary that, oh yeah, it was hard to see for whatever reason. or I am on the laptop and I had a lot of light hitting the screen, whatever that may be. This is useful. Another example, let's say that I want to ignore some text. So I don't want to read again, but I want to keep it in my collection. So when I do the search, I get hits, for instance. So let's say that I don't care about the origin now, or controversial views. I can select all of this, and now I press Ctrl-Shift-I. Now it looks like this because I'm applying my own styling. That means that it's being ignored. And if you import from Wikipedia, and I selected this, because it's actually rare that I don't have it, you will have this message box that needs verification. And one last thing are the red points. So let's say that I want to go to a specific place here. Okay, so I select here and Control F7. It's very hard to know what you're doing because there is no visual feedback. But if I move out and I come back, I go here. It scrolls down automatically. I'm manually selecting where do I want the red point. So now I will put it here after the 12. Control F7, I move away, I go back, I'm here, here I am. Let's say that now I do a search. Let me look for a word, MIT, okay. So I go and search in article or F3, MIT. And in this case, F3 again, and again, okay. What happened? As a consequence, I have scrolled down, but I only wanted to search for this, for MIT. I didn't read that. What I can do is Ctrl-Shift F7. What I just did. Clear the red point. So I go straight to the start. Because in reality, I haven't read anything. I only went through the search. Or in any case that you want to restart, you can clear it. You can also navigate with Alt F7. So now let's put it here, Analyzer, once again. Ctrl F7. So now, what happened here? Okay, here it is. Now I move because I'm searching something, but hey, I want to go back. Alt F7. And here you go. It's called Control F7, and here I go again. There's a very strange bug. I'm not sure how to actually trigger it, but with red points, there is some trickery that it may fail. So this is a nice touch, especially if you're not actually reading, you do writing, and you have some headers, you want to go back, change something, and go back where you were at. Or when you're reading for super long articles and you are not extracting the text or deleting the text, you keep going. Or you went ahead and search for anything. You will get most of the value with these key bindings. There are more, but this is more than enough, shall I say. So nothing more to add today, and see you incrementally.